YouTube. Welcome back to episode 166 of the Heart of a Family. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. What we're gonna talk about today. And then we're gonna look into the Diddy case. I may have to move locations. I ain't trying to get copyrighted with all this music in the back. But yeah, y'all see the hat. Y'all see them boys. hmm But yeah, man. What y'all think gonna happen with Diddy? Look like they gonna finish up within the next week. They say he confident. Y'all think he confident as they say he is? I hope so. Otherwise, he getting time, my guy. I'm at this let me turn so y'all can see. I'm at a resort style hotel at an undisclosed location. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody at, man? I gotta do the show by myself. I gotta do it dolo. Let's do it dolo then. Oh, I was just about to do it by myself.
Hey, I running late because of Zumba, my workout. You already did the intro?
Zumba. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had to get cardio in. I'm gonna do a superset hit class Saturday. What we talking about?
Thought we was gonna talk about the Diddy case.
Yeah, they rested. I mean, not rest. Yeah, the defense rested. No, they didn't call no witness. So they'll probably read the jurors, the jury instructions, and then they'll probably get it tomorrow, Friday, and then it's gonna have to be a sit and waiting game for the verdict to come in.
Hmm.
So, so yep, and then they dropped some of the well, they dropped I think all the state charges and just going with the federal. But I don't know. I don't understand the reasoning behind it though.
Are you free to travel today? Would love to have you. With 4 heart emojis, right?
Yes,
Okay. And then there's an attachment missing, but I think you testified yesterday that JPEG indicates it's probably a photo, right?
most likely yes.
Okay. And she says, "Here's your flight info!" Exclamation point. "I'll have hotel info later tonight. Excited to see you." And how does he respond?
Excited to see you as well, love. And 2 heart-kissing emojis.
Okay. Could we go to page 119, please? Okay. And this is January 2nd, 2022, 4:55 a.m. UTC time. 5:08 a.m. I apologize. UTC time. "Hey babe, you okay? How far are you? Keep me posted. Really want you here already." With 3 hearts, right?
Correct.
Okay. How does he respond?
Okay, baby. I'ma just wait out these 7 minutes. He'll be here soon. It's busy on Uber right now, so I don't want to risk waiting for another.
Okay. If we could skip ahead to page 121, please.
Close your door, please. Hmm.
All right. And she writes,
Oh, my mic is muted. Why is Homeland Security on the stand?
On the stand.
Yeah, he testified.
When was it? I don't know.
Down
For
below,
for P.
January
Diddy?
2nd.
Not unless that's the part where they trying to say trafficking and stuff, but they dropped the trafficking charges.
Oh, they did?
They dropped the trafficking, kidnapping, and what is that? Kidnapping and something, and then something else they dropped. Yeah, so they hurried up and dropped them charges before it went to the jury.
2022, 5:22 a.m. UTC time. Can't wait to see you! Exclamation point. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And how does he respond?
OTW, baby. Likewise. And another heart-kissing emoji.
Okay, we can take this down. We can go back to 1406, all right? And so those correspond with the date ranges here, which is December 31st, 2021 to January 3rd of 2022. Do you see that?
Yes.
But none of the messages between Cabrale and Jane from that date range were included here on this chart, right?
That's correct.
Here he writes at the bottom on April 24th, 2023. Can we have a party at your house later? I'll set up. Let me know. Or tomorrow, right?
Yes.
The next he writes 4 question marks, right?
Yes.
She responds, hey baby, call me back.
Yes.
How does he respond?
In booth. Can you tonight? What's your vibe? I still got some freak in me.
She loves that message and says, you want me, baby? Yes. Tonight works. Kissy face, wink with tongue, out face. Give me my...
They had no choice but to drop trafficking.
Hmm.
They had no
Right.
choice but to drop the trafficking.
Yeah, he wasn't trafficking. That's why I'm
Well,
like, I
that's
don't
what I
understand.
said. I told y'all that early on. It says attorneys for the Southern District of New York said they were removing instructions from the charge that relate to attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. And those are the charges that they removed to help make it more simpler when the jury get the instructions, supposedly. They will be focusing on forced labor. How is he forcing any labor? I'm
That's
still confused.
right. He's paying them. They're getting paid.
But my thing is,
If it's something
just
you don't
like
want
the one
to do,
girl, she said she sometimes set up the freak offs herself to keep him from going with other women. Then you got him reaching out to women that are flying in. He's setting up their itineraries. How is that forcing anybody?
right.
That's like meeting somebody online and you schedule to fly that person in or you being flown in. I mean, you're a consenting adult.
Right. You're just traveling to see somebody because you're dating or hooking up long distance. That's normal.
Yeah. I think probably what really hurt them is they spent too much time focusing on the freak offs and all of that instead of trying to build a case to actually show trafficking and all of that. They focused too much on his bedroom lifestyle.
Right.
I saw some video that was titled "The Jurors Are Tired of Watching the Tapes and Hearing All These Escapades."
But
They
that's what
probably
I'm getting
are.
to. You focusing on somebody's bedroom fantasies and freaky nature.
Right.
I mean, that's just crazy. Instead of focusing on the monster side of him,
Right. Because
he was
he's
just
doing
look.
others.
He was just nasty.
Yeah, like
You
R.
can't
Kelly.
convict somebody for being just nasty and a freak.
Right.
Just nasty.
Respond.
Yeah, I think the party could have been better. No fault of yours.
If we could go to the next 2 pages, he says, reach out. That's your line. How does he respond?
Reach out to the Italian.
She says, my house isn't free because there's open boxes and clothes everywhere, and emphasizes, yeah, I think the party could have been better, right?
Yes.
And how does he respond?
Damn.
She says, the party could have been better, really? Why? And how does he respond?
Okay, where? You find place. I can't have KK, no, damn.
She says, okay, sorry, I'll reach out. How about P? How does he respond?
Reach out.
And she says on page 4, Italian is available. I said I'd confirm time and location once I have it. How does he respond?
Okay, can you find location, please?
Can we skip ahead to page 24 of this and 25? She writes on April 25th, 12:14 a.m. UTC time, so that's the 24th. Should we postpone tomorrow? I need to find the card and try and book the room on our own and organize a few things on my end. And how does he respond?
No. I'll handle. No stress. Just fine for me.
Then, if you look at page 25, halfway down the page starting with, you okay? How does he respond?
He fiending.
Hmm?
He fiending.
For what? Drugs or her?
A freak off.
Okay, but is that a crime?
No.
He just
Nah.
nasty. He just a rich man with money that can fly these women in, have these freak offs, and just be nasty.
Yeah, I could see if he was like on some Jeffrey Epstein stuff, sneaking in kids or underage people. But these are just
They,
adults. Just
yeah, and they know what he's doing, and they are partaking. Not to say he ain't did any of these women wrong at a certain point, but I'm just like all this stuff that they have displayed of what goes on in his bedroom, how nasty he is, how a freak, how many cases of baby oil.
right.
That's just bedroom antics. So I'm like, you can't charge nobody for that. How he gonna be a criminal for being freaky
He's done so
and
many other things though that they
nasty?
try to prosecute him for besides the freak offs.
That's why I said, I mean, and I don't, maybe it's another angle for them dropping these charges that they have, because I think they said it's the state charges. And I had saw somewhere today that the federal charges, it'll be harder for him if DJT pardon him. I don't think he can pardon him on federal charges. So that was another angle to why they said that. But to me, it's just a slap in the face for some of the women that testified that he actually, abused and endured a lot of trauma from him
Yeah.
by them dropping some of those charges.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people, especially even on that documentary, that one lady was like, she got drugged and it was not
Hmm.
against her
But
will.
then
Like
they dropped all those charges where you put these women on the stand and just told all the stuff that happened to him, and now by dropping these charges, it's like a slap in the face. That's why a lot of victims don't come forward.
right. Especially when someone's in power.
And now that they see that the case ain't probably going the way that they want it to go, and now they want to hurry up and drop charges before it go to the jury. And he just nasty.
He crazy too, but they ain't that's not what they're proving.
Mm-mm.
No chance.
Nope. And it ain't nothing else out there that they can show because the case they both enclosed they rested. So I think now have they already gave their closing statements?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
watched.
Because if not, I think that's the only thing they have left to do is give their closing statements, and then the judge will read the jurors their instructions, and then it'll be handed over to the jury to deliberate. So it ain't nothing else other than the closing statement that the prosecutors can say. So and I don't know still how it's a RICO charge
Right.
for
I
being
don't think.
freaky.
I don't think they proved that.
I just don't.
He's probably
And
gonna
then
go
I
home.
saw somewhere too about with some of the charges dropped, even if he do be found guilty, they said he may not serve no more than like 7 years.
You okay? If you ain't in the mood, you in the mood.
She says, yes. Just wanting to feel prepared, right?
Yes.
If we could go to perfect, she says, didn't know you were unsatisfied. And how did he respond?
So will you be prepared by 11?
Then if you look at the next page, page 27, she says, I stopped to got a couple more outfits and stuff. What does he respond with?
I booked already.
Then she responds, okay, baby, just tidying up here and ordering dinner and then getting ready. Should I tell Italian 11:30 and then just let me know where? And what does he say?
11.
Next page she writes to him, Hustler is on the way there. If there's anything last minute we need, just let me know, babe. Right?
Yes.
What does he respond?
Whatever you think.
She says,
Mm,
okay, with
mm,
a,
mm.
I suppose that's a thinking emoji, and says, Joey just called me. Are him and I supposed to talk about anything, right?
Yes.
So if we could go to page 34 and 35, please. At the bottom of this page, he writes, did you get pill? Hit me when coast clear. Hey, right?
Yes.
What does she respond with?
Hey babe, yeah, Joey is gone, I hope, and Italian is pulling up.
If we could now go to 37 or 37, page 37. All right. So do you see the bottom of this page is April the 25th, 2023 at 11:38 p.m. UTC time?
Yes.
She writes, you me down so amazing, baby. You had this so all night.
Oh
Damn,
wow.
right?
I
Yes.
get top heavy too.
Can we go to
Like,
next page?
Again,
She says,
how is he
I
be?
love you loving on me.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
if this ain't people
mm-mm,
everyday conversation, check
mm-mm.
everybody's text messages. I'm sure this is what's in everybody's phone as an adult at some point.
I just don't see how he. I mean, I don't. Do the jury have to come back all guilty? Because everybody on that jury is not going to say guilty. I can tell you that right now.
It has to be unanimous. Otherwise
That's
it'll be
going
a
to be the issue because I don't see every single jury. I mean, well, I'm just saying, if I was on the jury, I'm gonna be honest. In reading through all them instructions and seeing all of this stuff, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it. I would, if I were on a jury, listening to this type of stuff and what they've been presenting. I wouldn't find him guilty of what they're charging him with. That's the problem. Y'all
That's
charging
the
him
yeah,
and
and that's the
then y'all
problem.
trying him
And then if you
over here.
are, and if you're going by the instructions, and you are just like, what they charging him for, I don't see it. You can't find him guilty.
Right,
You
and
cannot find him guilty on that.
it can't be any reasonable doubt. This is reasonable doubt all over.
I bet you they pulled some people's phones in that courtroom. They didn't probably send some freaky stuff to their wife, girlfriend, or husband.
Right. That's why I said check everybody's phone. If anybody's in a relationship with somebody or even messing with somebody as an adult, this is what's in their phone.
But then my thing is too, you saying, babe, what outfit should I wear and all of this
Right.
stuff. I'm just like, and
Y'all
that's to
meeting
me
up.
is gonna make the jury kind of be like, okay, I mean, how forced were some of these women?
Right. You want to go find outfits and stuff. You ready. You excited.
And you can't say he forced you because I mean, reading, listening to that, it wasn't no force. You pretty much was agreeing to everything. Mm-hmm.
Me
Yeah,
and
he's
me you, right?
gonna be free.
Yes.
Agent, do you remember looking at financial records just now?
Yes.
In essence, do they show that Sean Combs paid to transport Cabrale Williams across state lines?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do those financial records show that Sean Combs paid for transportation bills for Cabrale Williams in September of 2024?
Objection.
That's sustained. Rephrase.
Did we just look at financial records from September of 2024?
Yes.
Did they show that Sean Combs paid for a number of different travel services?
Yes.
Were those travel services for Cabrali Williams?
Yes.
Did those travel records result Cabrali Williams crossing state lines?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did they reflect that Cabrali Williams was traveling from Atlanta to Florida?
Yes.
Do you remember watching videos from July 31st, 2024 and August 1st, 2024 just a few moments ago?
Yes.
Do you know one way or the other what, if any, drugs Jane had taken before she was filmed on those videos?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you recall being asked about dates that were not on your chart in 1406 on cross-examination?
Yes.
Is the chart meant to show every single time that Jane and Sean Combs met with a third party, or just the times that are reflected in the records that were provided to you?
Just the times
Oh.
and the records that were given to me.
And do you recall being shown text messages that were not cited in the chart that you reviewed for this case?
Yes.
Is it your understanding that the charts are meant to reflect every single message in this case, or just the subset you were shown?
Just the records that I was shown.
Mr. Agnifilo, have you had an opportunity to discuss with Mr. Combs whether he intends to testify in his defense?
I have had that discussion with him at great length.
Is it an appropriate time now to allocute Mr. Combs on his decision?
That is fine. If you could just give me 30 seconds so he understands what's about to happen.
Take as much time as you need.
We're ready, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, the court will now allocute Mr. Combs on his right to testify on his own behalf. Is the defense ready for the court to proceed?
We are. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Combs, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Your Honor?
Good.
I want to tell you thank you. You're doing an excellent job.
Okay, I appreciate that.
He got paid.
48 hours.
He funny.
Talk about you're doing an excellent
Right.
job to the judge.
Yeah,
He didn't got paid. That judge didn't got paid.
Right. Excellent job. Thank you. Ready to go home.
Mm.
He's gonna be the next one invited to a free call.
Right. You ready? He gonna be there. Baby oil and all.
He didn't got paid. Any other time they'll be like, that is not what I asked. Just answer the questions that you're asked.
Right.
Have you
And
taken
that
any
was a
drugs,
signal.
medicine, pills, or had any alcohol?
No, I have not.
Is your mind clear today?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what is happening here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that as a defendant in a criminal case, you have the right to testify on your own behalf if you wish to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you also have the right not to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you decide not to testify, that no one, including the jury, could draw any inference or suggestion of your guilt from the fact that you did not testify?
I understand, Your Honor.
Do you understand that whether you testify or not is a decision for you to make with the assistance of your lawyers, but ultimately that it is your decision to make and not your lawyer's decision to make? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, without telling me what you may have discussed with your lawyer, have you discussed with your lawyers whether you should or should not testify in this case?
Yes, thoroughly.
Have you had enough time to talk with your lawyers and to think about whether to testify and the advantages and disadvantages of that decision?
Yes. We have discussed it.
Is it your decision not to testify in this case?
That is my decision, Your Honor.
Is that your decision? Now, it could be
That is solely my decision.
solely your decision. Okay, is there any further questions?
I mean, it's my decision, but with my lawyer.
All right, just to clarify, do you understand that it is your decision to make?
Yes, my decision to make. I'm making the decision.
And you've made the decision freely and voluntarily on your own behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Comey, any further questions that you would request that I ask?
No. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Agnifilo.
Nothing further. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Mm, 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 mm. Well, you go to the. I wonder have they did their closing statements.
Nah, I think the jury might come out Friday or Monday or something.
See, I think they'll get it by Friday
Mm.
because I think they still got to do their closing arguments. Yeah, it says the next step is closing arguments, which is scheduled for Thursday. After both the prosecution and defense rest their cases, the prosecution will not present a rebuttal. The jury will then receive instructions from the judge before delivering deliberations. So they're going to make their final arguments tomorrow. Then, depending on how long that take and how long they're going to be doing that, then the judge will read the instructions to the jury, and then he'll hand it over to the jury. But I saw somewhere where they were saying that the judge want everything done before the holiday, before the 4th.
I think it'll be done before the 4th. It might be done
Me
like
too. Yeah.
It's
they
gonna be
just
a
didn't do
good
it.
holiday, huh? Gonna
Huh?
be good or bad.
I think he's gonna
Mm,
go home and then he's gonna have a white party. I'm just playing.
What's up?
He got a 4th of July white party.
How's it going, Pepper?
yeah,
I'm good.
it's
I'm
gonna
good.
be crazy.
On a family
Everybody gonna
call,
be
that's all.
glued. Everybody gonna be glued to
What they
the
got?
when we get the word that the verdict came in. Everybody gonna be glued.
Right. His kids
Not even
gonna
a
be
carne
outside.
asada?
It's definitely some sort of beef.
The kids gonna be outside in the car waiting.
Hmm.
I'll make me
Let's
a
go have let's party because he's been in there for
make
a
me a
while.
little
How long
bowl or
has
something.
he been in jail?
He been in there for some months, ever since they arrested him.
Yeah, because he missed Christmas. He missed the girls' prom.
Graduation, prom,
Yes, which I mean, it's to
the
me, I get this
twins.
for him because like he missed all of this and like they really didn't prove anything. Like y'all got me in this damn court in this jail for this
No,
long. This is
y'all.
all y'all got. They're
Hmm.
racketeering with them, especially with them text messages that they just read in court. Like, what was the purpose of
Yep.
it? I'm surprised the judge wasn't like, what are we here for? Like, I'm confused.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we'll see.
y'all want to make a bet, 50 cent bet, because I can't bet no more.
Uh,
I wonder how
uh,
long the jury gonna be out.
yeah, maybe a little bit.
That may be like a day or two.
Mama, guess who invited me back?
Oh,
Tristan.
okay, good.
Hey, Chance.
Hi, guys.
You want to put it there on your plate?
They
Yeah,
can see.
thank you.
I can't see.
How
Hmm.
can you see it? It's
Okay.
right there.
Because it looks like black to
Move,
me.
baby.
What?
It looks like the whole screen's black to me.
It's just dark. He can't see himself.
Oh,
The way our lighting is in here. I'm in the kitchen
oh.
trying to do these street
My hands are
walking
full.
flyer for 4th of July.
Mm. Oh, yeah. That's coming up.
Right. I've been
Hi.
lagging.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm ready to see him get out.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, they just improved the case of what they were talking about, honestly.
I don't think they did either. That's hard.
The only thing y'all really brought forth that was it's kind of like assassination of his character, if you want to be honest, because the only thing we all know is like he abused Cassie, but I mean everybody knew that, we just didn't
But
see it
see,
in
and then
court.
like that, they should have stuck with the abuse, the assault.
Right.
Um,
Especially the
I-
assaults that he made on those other people that
yeah,
like you
but they
literally
didn't do
drugged these
that.
people and had sex with them against their will. Like they didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, they focused too much on that.
They focused way
We didn't need to hear about no baby oil.
Right. It's just assassination of his character, to be honest with you. Just made him look bad.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. It's gonna be, yeah. I don't think the closing arguments is gonna take that long.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
I
it's gonna.
think the jury may get it tomorrow.
And they may stay out for a while because they're going to be deliberating. But I mean, they're not going to get all 12 of those people to agree. If I were on
I
that
don't
jury,
think so
I
either.
would not agree with what they're.
Care what they think they coming there for, and then you leave. He put you on a plane and you go back home. How's that trafficking?
It's
Just
not.
I mean, I know you flying over state lines and going from state to state, but when I think of trafficking, I'm thinking about these kids that's getting kidnapped
Right.
and they
Right.
held in a room or a house and they cannot leave. And you're trafficking them with these men and selling them and all of that to the men. I'm like, you just, mm-mm.
That's not trafficking in any capacity. That's him flying somebody out to come meet up. I
Have a
mean,
good, be nasty.
right. Right.
He just a big old freak and just nasty.
Yeah, they should definitely. I don't see. I wouldn't convict him if I were on that jury. To be honest with you, not for what they're
It'll be
charging.
hard. It'll be hard because I know they're gonna probably look at. Well, he sent her the itinerary, and it's a return flight, and she was willing. She was able to leave because I'm like, how's that trafficking?
If she's
He
willing
didn't
to
hold. He
fly,
didn't go get her and kept her in his house to where she couldn't. They couldn't go back home.
yeah. I mean, to me, like, I mean, that would be like if you're dating someone in another state and they're paying for your flights to come in and visit them. That is definitely not
Hmm.
trafficking. You know, like people do this on a regular, like every day. Somebody is flying out to go meet their significant other or somebody they're just messing around with. Nobody lives
Hmm.
state. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not uncommon for people to fly to go meet somebody that they messing with or even in a relationship
And
with.
then see with him, it's just he's such a celebrity and rich. He has the options to get all these different women and fly all these different women in, and then he can link up with some freaky women that don't care, and
Right.
and
They
be
just
doing all the stuff that he won't. But I'm just like, that's not trafficking to me.
it's not. And if that's the case, then
And
a lot
then he
they're wrong.
paying some of their rent,
Right.
buying them stuff, and then they accepting it. I'm just like, come on now.
That's what they're doing it for. They want to come up. Ain't nobody out here messing
So he
around with
was
no
basically a
celebrity that
sugar
ain't got
daddy,
no
getting sugar.
yeah,
Basically.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they getting things in return. Some of those people that are truly trafficked, they don't get that.
Right. I mean, it's against their will. You know, like you have
They
somebody
are
telling you,
like all in a basement with the little cot beds, and then when these
right,
men come, they parade them in front of these men, send them into these little rooms, and they got to do what they're told, and then they sent right back downstairs. They may feed them and stuff, but they don't get elaborate, expensive, and they rent paid and all of that.
can I tell y'all a secret? If I didn't have morals, I would definitely be a high dollar call girl. If I didn't have morals, I wish I didn't have them sometimes. Because them be the people that be getting far in life, just using people for money, messing with people just for money. I don't have it in me, but I definitely would do it. Like I'm not being trafficked. I'm trying to get a $1 million home. You know, trying to
Hmm.
get a G wagon. I'm just saying. But no, seriously, I don't think. Yeah, that's not trafficking.
It's gonna be hard. I'm telling you. I would not be surprised if he got off.
I think he is, to be honest with you.
I would not be surprised.
I really think he is. He got to be at home chilling with them kids.
I would not be surprised. They just didn't prove it to me, so.
Yeah, they just
And I
proved his.
think that's why they dropped some of them charges because they know. it's gonna be a little bit hard to get a conviction. So I think they dropped some of the charge because I'm like, why wait? Why drop them now?
Right. Right.
After you
It,
didn't had all these women go on the stand and
I
I'm like,
wonder when
why even bring them to testify then on their bedroom lifestyle? Why even do that?
to try to humiliate him.
And then you had what's Cassie's ex-boyfriend where he blew up the car supposedly, and then you dropped that charge for arson. So what was the purpose?
No,
Right.
but think about the significant others of the victims, what they got to go through here and all the stuff coming out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and you just paraded them and humiliated them. That's why I said earlier. That's why victims don't come forward. That to me, that was a slap in the face to them women. The way that they presented them on the stand and the way that they portrayed the charges that involved them, it just that's why, like I said, victims don't come forward because of that. They don't believe in the system.
Yeah, it's a very flawed system.
And I'm like, come on, how much do they really care about Cassie? Cassie got that how many $1 million settlement?
I forgot. Was it
If
20?
I was her, I mean, I'm pretty sure she
I think it
wanted
was
to
closer to
testify.
30.
But if
She
she
said
didn't
she was
want to
gonna.
testify and she felt she was forced to testify, if she didn't have to, I wouldn't have testified.
Me
I
either.
would have just kept my little millions and been done. And then putting her health at risk on the stand, she pregnant, and go
Right.
through all of this for them to drop those charges.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder when the prosecutor felt like, damn, I think we're losing here.
Stop. Stop it. Stop. Go.
What is that dog
Look
doing?
at him.
What you doing, Onyx?
Say hey.
Onyx, how are you voting? Bark
Look.
once for guilty. Bark twice for not guilty.
Say hey. He keep getting out of his pen.
Dogs are smart. Have you ever watched
He
Secret
unzi-
Life?
he unzips it from the inside.
I told you I saw Corey's old dog open a water bottle. Like literally, I've never seen that before. I'm like, y'all need to give this dog some damn water. There's no reason why this dog should know how to open up a water bottle.
Crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, dogs are smart though.
Yep. He said, how much time we got?
4 minutes.
No.
But
Well, look,
yeah,
we'll
I'd
come
say
back tomorrow on the Diddy stuff because it's definitely going to be on the news tomorrow.
I need to start watching. I just
They
been
didn't
home.
probably moved all the news outlets in so they can be positioned for when the jury come in and come to a decision.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Yep. Because I'm
P.
like, as
Diddy
soon as
acquitted on
because as
all
soon as
charges.
it go to the jurors, shoot, they can come back within an hour or two with a decision.
I'm thinking it's either gonna be not guilty or mistrial. Because everybody's not
Mm.
gonna be in agreement.
Or
So
maybe but the thing is, if it has to be all of the jury saying
right.
guilty, if they all cannot come to an agreement, they have to say not guilty. They can't. It has to be all or nothing, either guilty or not guilty.
Yeah,
That was the thing on that murder trial I was on in Oklahoma City years ago. It was we all had to say guilty or not guilty.
right. Or it'll
And
be a
then when we
mistrial.
went back to the judge to say we could not come to an agreement with everybody, he was like, "Y'all got to keep going." And then finally, I think we was in there for like 2 days. Finally, everybody started flipping, and we all said not guilty. But then when they read the not guilty verdict, they was prepared. They brought up another case of his because he violated his probation.
Is that legal?
Yeah, they did it.
Like what? This is not what we in here for.
Yep, yep. And then so we had to go back upstairs and deliberate on that.
They playing with y'all.
So we
Like, I'm
found
going
him
home.
guilty. We found him guilty on that because he was the situation he was in. He did violate his probation.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
funny.
but if it's not all of them, he gonna be found not guilty, and he will not probably be able to be charged again.
Yeah, he probably won't. That's a waste of money though, and time. I'd be pissed off if I was him.
Yep. So stay tuned tomorrow.
We shall see. I believe my prediction is correct.
I'm gonna say if they gotta all say guilty, he's not gonna be found
Yeah,
guilty.
he's not guilty. I wouldn't vote guilty, honestly.
So he
And
may walk.
yeah, I'm not even a P Diddy fan like that. I just it's not.
And I don't agree with some of the stuff that he did, but I
No,
just don't
I
think
don't
they
agree with a lot of the
proved.
stuff he's done outside of
Yep.
this freak out stuff. Like you ruin people's careers. You know what I'm saying? He's just not a good person
Yep.
at all.
They just didn't prove the case. They focus on the wrong things.
They focused on stuff people do every
Make sure
day.
y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. You gotta stay tuned for what's gonna happen with Diddy. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Shout out to the sweet creations being created in the back. You know how to use Ziploc baggies around here.
No, it works better, I promise, than the other ones.
One
And those back
family.
stuff. Endless
Endless
connection.
connection.
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
All
All
right.
right.
All right, bye.
Bye.